Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another recap of My Five Wives. This is season 2, episode 7, Breaking Old Habits. Do me a favor and hit the like button as we jump into this episode. Now, they didn't get on my nerves as much in this episode as they did last one, but Brady to me is showing some additional, I don't know, side eye moments, we'll call it. So, Rosemary is helping Taylor get ready for her trip to Peru. Taylor is going to be gone for 2 weeks. This is a first for the both of them because they've never spent that much time away from each other, but it's a good thing. Rosemary is nervous and scared for her daughter, but she's also excited for her too, because as Rosemary puts it, this is a life changing trip. She's not just going on a trip, but she's doing missions and she's also going to get to explore the culture. Taylor says the longest that she's been away from her family is 4 days. So she's going to miss her family, but mainly her mom. Rosemary gives her what is called a granny square. I've never heard of them, but she says it's a granny square and she's renaming it as a mommy square. It looks something like a white square piece that's crocheted. And she says it's to remind Taylor of her mother's love. She tells her every stitch is a hug, a kiss, and an encouraging word. They embrace, and the both of them get a little choked up. Taylor tells us that she loves it, that she's glad that her mom did that for her because she's going to miss her mom a lot. You can tell that they have a really, really solid relationship. And that moment between the both of them was sweet because you see here where you got a mom who's scared to let her baby go, but she knows that this is important for her. And you got a daughter that really, really wants this trip, but scared as well, too, because the first leg of the trip to get to Peru, she's having to do it by herself. This isn't a thing where she's so easily accepted by everyone around her, more than likely. And it's probably a thing where if she was maybe a part of a church, that it would be multiple kids going on this trip with her. But it seems like this is just something that she's doing on her own. Either way, she's going to get where she has to go and do what she has to do. So at the office, Brady is back and he looks drained. He was gone for 10 days and now he has to get back into the groove of things. So he is stressed and he's worn out from work and the wives and the kids, even though, let me remind you, he decided to have all these wives, the work, and the kids. He says he's stressed. His plate is full and it's actually getting fuller. So, I don't know if I'm supposed to feel sorry for Brady, but I don't. And I think I wrote that a couple of times in my notes. Just because when you intentionally plan to do things like create another life, and then you complain about how stressed you are because you're having to make sure you have finances to sustain that life, I'm just looking at you like you did this to yourself. So he tells us that he has children going off to college and he has children traveling the world and he has a lot of contracts and a lot of extra work. Once again, this is self-inflicted stress on some areas to me because you're having all this extra work because you got to fill in the gaps for all these things that you got going on. This is part of the reason why I didn't agree with them pursuing adoption. This is part of the reason why I didn't agree with them having more kids because I knew it would cause a greater strain. So his brother is looking at him as he's sitting there looking all drained. And he's like, look, you got to figure something out. You need to take time for yourself. There's no reason why you can't take a couple of minutes each day for yourself. 15 minutes isn't a lot of time. He's like, if you can't work out, maybe you should consider going back to your meditation because meditating was good for you. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, do it, right? Because if you don't do it, then I'm going to kind of force you to do it. And I think that's because his brother knows that stress does things to the body and he needs his brother to be present for all this stuff that they got going on. So Brady decides that the perfect spot to have alone time rather than his truck where he currently gets it on the way to work and to different sites would be in this man cave that he's been working on over the years. Unlike his wives, he points out that he doesn't have his own space, that he doesn't get 4 nights to himself. I think that Brady forgets that even though he's rotating each wife each night, that his wives aren't off. His wives are still on. They're still expected to make dinner and still expected to be moms and still expected to be career women, but he's acting like they too aren't being pulled and tugged in different directions. He says that he tried to have an office, but that quickly has gotten taken over. So he's been working on this man cave for several years. He points out that his dad has a teepee. That's for his dad. For him, he wants this man cave. He says he feels like alone time will allow him to be a better husband and a better father. I do agree that people need to have time for themselves, but I feel like it's hard to expect that when you decided to be in polygamy. Is it fair to expect as a husband to be given time to yourself when your whole thing is to create more and more beings on this earth, right? Y'all tell me what you think. As I said, you wanted to have these kids, you wanted these wives, you chose this Brady. So you choosing to add more to a plate that was already full, you telling us previously that you know you don't spend enough time with your wives and your kids, you saying that in previous episodes in another season, and then you go to this. I'm just looking at you like, okay, why are we then going to take more time by having this man cave? So we see him gathering up different things as he completes the man cave with the help of his son. Excuse me. So the boys love playing pranks, right? They enjoy playing pranks on their papa. It's something that they like to do. Per Paul's suggestion, the boys end up getting his keys on the night that he's in his man cave. They hide them in a plastic Ziploc bag with the help of their sister because at first, when they do it, it gets in there. Then they try to cling wrap, whatever, whatever. Long story short, they cover it with Jello and they put it in the fridge so it can mold over the keys. It sounds like a good prank, but it doesn't really work because the next morning, when he goes looking for the keys, one of the sons tells him as he's laying there, looks like they had a sleepover in the living room, tells him to look in the fridge in the food. So Brady finds the Jello. My signal is bad. Masterpiece, and the brother quickly rats out himself and the others. I'm going to try to go off camera, see if that helps. The boys aren't worried about the payback though, because they say their father is too busy and he's gonna be too busy going to work and coming home to eat, sleep, and repeat to get back at them. So we know from the first season that Rosemary has been struggling with her weight. She says it's always been an issue for her, even when she was in middle school. At this point, she needs to concentrate more on herself. And with Taylor stepping out and doing some things for herself, she's now being encouraged to do the same. So she tells her sisters her sister wives that she probably wants to do like aerobics or yoga. Even though she is one of the prettier wives, in my opinion, she often feels like she's not because she is constantly comparing herself to the other much smaller wives. She says people even have treated her differently because of her size and it hurts. So she asks the wives if they would mind working out with her because she struggles with her consistency and she kind of wants some accountability partners. The wives feel like it would be a great idea. They're down with doing whatever they need to do to help her. So they go to work out at her home. The only person who ends up not working out is Noni because Noni is experiencing morning sickness. So we see the ladies do a mini circuit in the living room. It's cute. After they're done, they sit there and talk. Rosemary realizes that they can't always do this workout thing with her because they themselves have other obligations and other things that they have to do. So they're sitting down and they're talking. And Rosemary says, like, one of the things that I know that I want to do is start looking into healthier eating options as well as working out. So they talk about some of the changes that they can make at dinner at home because they all eat dinner as a family. One of those things being removing the chips from taco night, especially because when they have those nights, the kids tend to be focused more on the chips than the rest of the food. One of the things that I will say, and this is just for me personally, What I've noticed is sometimes it's harder to eat healthy, especially when finances are a thing. And I can only imagine what it's like for them with a much larger family. Because let's be honest about it. Things like rice and pasta are a lot cheaper in comparison to your healthier options like your veggies. So you have this large family that chips, I'm not going to count chips, but things like rice and pasta and bread help fill them. And those are all things that they tell you to try to do in moderation or to do like the serving size or things of that nature. So it's a lot to it. So Rhonda says that she's proof that changing up your food can also help. She said that she at one point was told that she had high cholesterol. You guys hold on because the ice cream truck is loud and I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know what it is about when I decide to record, why everybody wants to wild out outside and play all types of music on the ice cream truck and everything else. So, my apologies. I think I was talking about Rhonda and how she says that she's proof that changing your food can also help. She had a high cholesterol and she cut out chips and pancakes. And when she went back, they said that she was back in normal range. So, she's saying, I didn't do anything else but cut those two things and it lowered my range. So Rosemary goes to her husband after this conversation, letting him know that she wants to be healthier. He's like, okay, what do you need from me? She's asking for her husband's support, much like she did the first season. And she wants him helping her, kind of like with working out. She's thinking that maybe Brady could support her by working out with her, and maybe he could be like a little bit of an accountability partner. Rather than even considering it because he's so busy, he suggests for her to get a trainer because that, in his words, is what trainers do. Health prevention is cheaper than medicine. I hope my stuff works because I need y'all to see my expression. Sir, she didn't need that from you. What she needed in that moment was your support. You telling her like that's what a trainer is for. Duh, but I guess she didn't take it the way that I took it cuz for me, I would have expected for him to say something like, "You know what? Let's work out together on our nights. I may not be able to do with you all the time, all 7 days of the week, but I can guarantee you that at least one of the 4 nights that you decide that you're going to work out, I will work out with you on our night." I think that would have meant a lot to her, but that's not what he did. He tells us that, her self image has suffered through the years, and her being concerned a lot was a thing when it came to her weight, that she's even started to be insecure, that she compares herself to the other wives, and it just breaks his heart. To me, if it really and truly breaks your heart, then be there for her as much as you can. I know that it's not his job. I know that it's her job. It's her job to do it. She can be the only one who wants it. Prime example, my father. My father sees me. My father is a very, very healthy person. My father is somebody who works out every single day. It's just in him. I don't know if it's from childhood. I don't know if it's from his life in the military. Either way, it's in him. When my father sees me, when my father knows of the various complications and things of that nature in our family, my father knows that my mother had a heart attack last year. My father looks at me and my father says, "Daughter, what are you doing to make sure that you're being healthy? What is it that you need my assistance with in ensuring that this next time around, when you start your stuff and when you eat healthier and when you work out, that you stick with it?" Is it his job to do that? No. Is knowing that my father is in my corner and that my father is rooting for me helpful? Yes. Now, does that work for everybody? No. But I think for her, she just needs to know that her husband kind of has her back. And I don't feel like it's his job to do it for her, but I think that as a mate, as a partner, it'd be nice to encourage her. The other day, me and my man went walking because he knows that I gotta get it together. And he gotta lose his little, basketball too, but but that's nothing. When you're skinny with a basketball, all you gotta do is stop drinking and then it goes away. Anyways, my point is support each other in the way that works for one another without losing yourself in the other person. But a little bit of help goes doesn't take that much. I know I'm rambling, but I hope you get what I'm saying. So she tells us that she's happy Brady suggested a trainer. So even though I felt a way about him doing that, she's happy about it. She meets Austin, who is going to work with her. She gets on the scale. She weighs 262 pounds. She was like, all right, got it. I'm get that out the way. His response to her is like, hopefully we're not going to see that number again. So they work out. He shows her a whole bunch of different things. He tells her that she needs to work out at least 4 days a week. And he suggests to have her speak with a nutritionist. He can give her some information on that because food matters too. Y'all, I have eaten healthy for these past couple of days because I knew my family was coming in town, and I already know for some of them that they were going to look at me like, Tisha, what are you doing? Right? And just like that, just because I was focused, just because I was doing things, just because I was paying attention, y'all, I lost 5 pounds in like 3 days. And all I did differently was watch what I was putting in my mouth. And just like that, I'm focused, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to get out there and do what I got to do. I say that today. Holler at me tomorrow. So the nutritionist arrives. Her name is Robin. Yeah, her name is Robin. Robin discusses what she eats, suggests, okay, let's stop doing like the ice cream and stuff at night. Let's have smaller meals. Let's have smaller meals that have more evenly spread calories. I'm suggesting that you also do a food log so you're aware of what you're eating, healthier options, things of that nature. She basically lets her know that she's doing a good job. Later, her daughter agrees to work out with her. And as everybody else is eating ice cream, Rosemary declines, and her daughter eats carrots and hummus with her as a snack. Cute moment. So Noni is experiencing a lot of morning sickness. So she has the kids helping her clean around the house, even her little 5-year-old chipping in, helping and mopping with the floors. I do not remember her name, but she is such a cutie pie. And the ice cream truck is back, y'all. Hold on. This is what I get. I'm really, really trying here. This is what I get. All the elements. I took time off to spend with the family. I come back to record, and then everything is just going wrong. Oh, anyways, so as I was saying, her 5-year-old is so cute. She tells her mom, if I'm helping her mom, you got to give me money. And I feel her because she got that baby mopping away in the bathroom, but she's doing her thing. So it's time for family dinner. Carly has came to join her family. With them deciding to be eating healthier as a family, Carly suggests that they have a family track and field day, their own version of a decathlon. Everyone agrees to participate. After that great announcement, Brady decides to make his own announcement, which is that he is going to be spending the night in his man cave alone tonight. He is not asking, he is telling. He's telling his wives that this is what he's going to do. It is Rhonda's night. And she says, it's my night. He says, the schedule is just getting bumped one day. I'm not even one of his wives. And the way that I got irritated at the manner in which he did that and how he handled that, don't tell me what's what, especially if I'm already preparing for you that night, especially if I already got to wait every fifth night in order to see you and you're acting like, oh, what's one more night? It's very dismissive of their feelings because I feel like that should have involved a conversation with, if not anyone else, at least with Rhonda. So Rosemary doesn't think that it's going to last that long. She thinks that his man cave is a glorified doghouse. Brady goes into his man cave and he's preparing to shut it down for the night. The boys come in to kind of distract him. Rhonda comes into, she sits on his lap. He tells her that he's thinking about doing this weekly, and she looks a little bothered by it. And my question is, when do the moms get their night to run away? Because he's not just trying to be away from the moms, he's trying to be away from the kids too. And as I said earlier, I think that's something they deserve. So the moms go out for tea and to catch up. They're excited about the decathlon. We find out that Noni found Brady attractive during a pie eating contest. I guess that I don't know if that's how they met, but that's how she saw all these men and Brady was amongst them. Taylor made it safely to Peru. Rosemary's relieved. We then hear about this man cave thing. Noni says once in a while is okay, but she's not really into the every 6 night thing. We see all these clips of Brady on nights when he's supposed to be tapped in with his wives where he's not even paying attention to them. Instead, he's watching shows on his computer or he's not even spending time talking to them. So the plan for the women is that they're all going to agree to him having his man cave nights as long as he no longer brings his devices into the bedroom. They later present it to him when they have their adult family meeting, and he surprisingly agrees with no pushback. He says he's been needing to do it anyway. I'm glad that you decided to do that. He says he needs to stop relying on sitcoms to sleep. Now, I personally don't feel like there's anything wrong with having something playing in the background, but there's a difference between the disconnection that it creates when your wife is trying to bond with you because they only get you after family dinner. That's not a lot of time depending on what time they go to bed. As I can't remember who said it. Was it Rhonda or Robin who said that we only get to have him 5 days out of the month. And then when you think about the days because of the way that their family operates, those days really aren't days, they're 5 nights. So he announces that he has secured over $3 million deal that will pay for the entire staff and crew for the year. Next thing we know, the ladies are running from the table because a spider has come and Brady kills it like the man that he is with his hand. I started laughing, not just at their response, but because if my best friend watches this or if she hears this as she listens, she is going to be highly upset because one thing you don't do is get rid of spiders. She is the spider lover. She even has a tattoo on her wrist or whatever. She does not play about spiders, and it was a big one that would have created a nice web that could have got rid of some of these other bugs. And now that's one less bug catcher around here. So my friend would have been upset. So it's decathlon time. We see them do the crab walk with the kids, the speed walk with the moms, the standing long jump with the teens, the mile run with the kids, rolling downhill with the kids, obstacle courses that had like a hula hoop and crawling under a tarp and gathering balls and putting them in a hamper, a broom throwing contest with the moms. We then finish with the pie eating contest. I'd pass on the pie eating contest. It looks gross. It looked like they just put a whole bunch of pudding in a pie, but I don't know what kind of anyways. But Robin's 16-year-old son, Dane, ends up winning. Rosemary tells us at the end that she is excited because the family did all of this the same week that she started her new exercise regimen, and she's just pleased to have them. She's like, I was looking for all these ways to get things going, and here we are, and it's going. And that's basically it. If there's anything that I missed in this review that you want to talk about, feel free to put it in the comment section below. We don't have too many more of these because this is it. Like this season is it. After this, I will be starting on the Polly family. I watched one episode many weeks ago when it first came out, and I had a lot to say off of that one episode. I don't know how detailed of a recap it will be, but we're going to be discussing it. Also, I'm currently reading Under the Banner of Heaven, a story of violent faith. If I'm being honest, I'm not really feeling certain aspects of it because it's a lot of history. But at the same point, I am liking the history because it's making me more aware of the inner workings of some of these cults, and it's giving me more of an idea of just how like deep this thing goes. I also recently, a couple days ago, put out uh what did I call it? A family affair. It's a part of my It's Getting Real series on my crime stuff. I'm trying to incorporate little things here and there. We'll see how it goes. because Sister Wives is over, but I still gonna talk about Sister Wives. Like, they're not going anywhere. There's still plenty to talk about and look into, because yeah. Also, I saw some people ask on another video if I plan on reading Christine's book. I do plan on reading it. I have not pre-ordered it as of yet, but I will. For all of you who wished good wishes for my son for his graduation, and congratulations and all those other things, thank you so much. I have not gotten a chance to look at any comments lately, but I'm going to go through my comments and I'm going to make sure that I respond. I'm so sorry, but one of the things that I promised myself was, while my family was there, cuz some of them I have not seen in like 6 years. While my family was here, I was just gonna just like disconnect and enjoy them, and I did. I really, really did. If I'm being honest, it's only been a couple of hours, and I'm already missing my daddy. It's terrible. I am, and some of my first cousins that were here, like, yeah, it's just, man, it's just this nostalgia that happens when we all get together. And my father bought me so many goodies. He bought me my bami and my mango, and I got saltfish soaking right now on the stove, and I have my ackee and I have my plantain, and it is gonna go down. Like, I'm telling you, later on, it's gonna go down. I got so many goodies, so much loving. My son was really, really celebrated. I think I'm gonna put a picture up if I get his approval from graduation, just because he really, really made me proud. And it was a great day. And I felt very, very blessed because I am a single mom, and there is a village behind my son like no other. And even though I did a good portion of parenting by myself, he's turned out to be a really, really great kid. And for that, I am grateful. So, so grateful. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I love you, fam. Until next time.